take you to the High Court in Johannesburg, which today will hear closing arguments in the case against Ntuthuko Shoba. He is accused of masterminding Tshegofatso Pule's 2020 murder. Our reporter Linda Mnisi has been tracking that story for us. He joins us now live from outside court. I think important, Linda, good morning, to give our viewers a sense of his testimony. That's the testimony of Ntuthuko Shoba up until this point.
Well, Michelle, Ntuthuko Shoba has maintained his innocence throughout the trial, saying that, in fact, he looked forward to being a father. One of the key takeouts was his relationship with Mnisi Malepane. He's maintained throughout at least this trial that, in fact, the only time that they knew each other as acquaintances, and that on the 4th of June, the day Tshegofatso Pule was killed, they came into contact. Now, this despite having said earlier, at the lower courts during his second bail application, that he did not have any communication with Mnisi Malepane. The state saying that, you qualified, that statement by saying you did not have any communication, but he's coming to this court telling the court that they in fact knew each other as acquaintances, and that on the day of the murder, he went to meet Mnisi because Mnisi sold illicit cigarettes. You'll remember, during June 2020, the country was under a hard lockdown. There was no sale of cigarettes and alcohol. And, of course, he says that's the reason why he was going to see him. They'd known each other and seen each other a couple of times, but wouldn't necessarily say he is friends. He said in the lower courts that he couldn't imagine giving his unborn baby to a killer. We know that Mnisi Malepane has been sentenced to 20 years, for murdering Tshegofatso Pule. He entered into a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to the murder, but Ntuthuko Shoba saying he did not instruct Mnisi Malepane to go and kill Tshegofatso Pule.
Linda, I wonder what the prosecution's tactics will be. Has he faced questioning from the state?
Yeah, indeed. He's gone under cross-examination, looking at various elements. Like I've just pointed out, the issue around the communication. We heard in that particular lower court that on the day they communicated about 23 times. Now, this despite the fact that he denied any communication with Mnisi Malepane. But there's also been, the issue around the 29th of May and a suspicious job interview, which was said to have been arranged by Ntuthuko Shoba. He's denied any involvement in that particular, interview, but Mnisi Malepane telling the court that, in fact, he had been instructed by Ntuthuko Shoba to pick up Tshegofatso Pule on that particular day. The state coming with cell phone records showing communication between Ntuthuko Shoba as well as Mnisi Malepane. There's a disputed cell phone number which keeps coming up in this particular case. The state trying to link that particular number to Ntuthuko Shoba, bringing expert evidence who placed it at various locations where his registered number was at, saying that it's too much of a coincidence that he says he does not know this number, but it is often found at key locations where his registered number is at, and it keeps making calls to Mnisi Malepane, and every time that disputed number makes a call to the convicted killer, his registered number then calls Tshegofatso Pule. So the state saying that in fact is your number. Also trying to link that number to Ntuthuko Shoba, saying that there appears to have been a call made from your work landline to your main registered number, but also this disputed number. So today then, Michelle, we're expecting closing arguments from both the defense as well as the state. The defense said the state did not have any case here in this matter, but we know that through their application for a 174, a discharge, the court said a court acting cautiously may convict Ntuthuko Shoba. So that's how the case went ahead, and the defense putting their case. They closed it on Thursday.
Linda Mnisi, thanks very much indeed for that update. The Johannesburg High Court hearing closing arguments today.